Ever drive on a newly paved road in Jamaica and wonder, like, who actually did this?
Right.
You might be surprised it could be a Chinese company.
Yeah.
We're going to be curious about the influence of Chinese businesses in Jamaica today.
Okay.
It's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, it is.
We're looking at this article from Jamaican Business Thrive.
Okay.
It's a website that's, all about local Jamaican businesses, which makes their take on this even more interesting, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And what I find so fascinating is how this article is from October 9th this year. It really shows how deeply Chinese businesses are like woven into the economy in Jamaica.
Okay.
And it's not new. This has been building for decades.
So not just like a quick in and out, grab some resources and leave.
Right.
This is like a long game, a long play.
Yeah.
What kind of impact are we talking about here?
So think about like roads and bridges, right? Yeah. The article specifically mentions the China Harbor Engineering Company, CHEC.
CHEC, okay.
They've been involved with a lot of major infrastructure projects all over the island.
Okay, so like what kind of projects are we talking?
Well, for example, like the new highway from Kingston to the North Coast.
Okay.
They were super involved in that. And it's not just about, getting around easier, which I'm sure we all appreciate, but it really can impact the economy, tourism, even agriculture.
Yeah.
Local economies, all along the corridor. You could see it in faster deliveries for your online orders.
Oh, wow.
Even new jobs popping up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they're literally laying the groundwork for even more business to be done.
Yeah.
But it's not just these huge construction projects, right?
Right.
Because the article mentioned supermarkets, too.
Exactly. It goes way beyond just infrastructure.
Okay.
Think about like your last trip to the supermarket, right?
Sure.
All those like really affordable places.
Yeah.
A lot of those are actually Chinese businesses. They're providing things at like really competitive prices, and sometimes in markets where maybe local businesses weren't totally meeting the need.
Right. So they kind of saw a gap and they were like, okay, we can fill that.
Exactly.
Interesting. And what's the secret? Like, how have they done so well?
It seems like it comes down to the relationship between the Chinese and the Jamaican governments.
Okay.
They've been working together for decades on all kinds of projects and agreements. So that makes it easier for Chinese businesses to, invest and work in Jamaica. It's a win-win.
So Jamaica benefits from the development, the investment, and then China gets to, expand their influence.
Exactly.
But what does that mean for businesses in Jamaica that are, Jamaican owned?
Right.
Can they compete? That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is. It's a tough one.
Can they compete when it's such a big economic force coming in?
Yeah, well, imagine, you know how you have your, traditional Jamaican food?
Yeah.
Jerk chicken, rice and peas, all that. And then you add in, some new spice blend inspired by Chinese cuisine.
Okay.
Does it, completely change it?
Right.
Or do you get something new and kind of cool out of it?
Yeah, I love that because it's not one replacing the other, right?
Exactly.
It's the mixing, how it all comes together.
The interaction, yeah. So think about, just on a daily basis in Jamaica, you've got Jamaican workers. Maybe they're working with Chinese business owners, sharing ideas,
Oh, interesting.
maybe even picking up new ways to solve problems. It's like this whole cultural exchange happening.
At the same time as the economic stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And, speaking of local businesses, I thought it was interesting, the Jamaican Business Thrive
Right.
website.
Yeah.
They're encouraging local businesses to, list themselves on the platform.
Okay.
Which is smart, right?
Yeah.
Because instead of just focusing on, oh, no, competition, it's like, hey, here's how you adapt.
Work with it.
Yeah, work with it, maybe even use it to your advantage.
So it's more like collaboration, not just this cutthroat, everyone for themselves.
Exactly, because in the end, you want what's best for Jamaica.
Right. A stronger Jamaica.
For everyone. But you got to look at it from all sides, the good and the maybe not so good.
And that's something we haven't really gotten into yet.
Yeah.
Because the article seemed really positive about more growth for Chinese businesses in Jamaica.
Right.
But is there any risk, depending on one country so much?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
And it's where it gets really interesting because more investment, that can be great for jobs, for building things, all that. But you have to make sure it's, fair for everyone in Jamaica.
So not just the economy as a whole, but it actually reaches people,
Exactly. Everyone benefits.
communities.
Yeah.
It's got to be sustainable. It's got to include everyone, you know.
Right.
And you don't want to lose what makes Jamaica special, that unique culture.
And that's a whole other thing, right?
Totally.
Because the article really focused on the money side.
But what did Jamaicans actually think about all these Chinese businesses?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
I mean, everyone's going to have their own opinion, right?
That's
Based
right.
on, like, their own experiences.
Right, what they've seen.
Exactly how it's affected them, even, like, thinking back through history.
Right.
So to really get it, you have to go beyond just the numbers. You
Oh.
have to talk to people, everyday Jamaicans.
What are they hoping for?
Yeah, what are their worries?
What do they think about this whole Jamaica-China thing?
Exactly. It's like a whole other side to the story.
It is.
Or are there problems?
Yeah, are there tensions?
Yeah, we have to look at all that to really understand what's going on.
It's like we often hear about these big global things,
Right?
but this has really made it, like, real. You know what I
The
mean?
whole, like,
It's not just numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually people, real communities dealing with it all.
That's why I think it's so important to, like, really dig in,
Yeah.
Go deeper than just the headlines, the surface.
Right, right.
When you get what it's like for people on the ground, like in Jamaica, with the Chinese businesses there, it's like you understand the world so much better.
We started off asking, like, what do they own in Jamaica?
Right.
And now it's like, whoa, we're talking about the whole future of Jamaica.
It is. And that's what's so cool about, like, really diving into a topic.
Yeah.
You go from easy answers to, like, this whole complicated situation.
Right, it's not simple.
It reminds you that business, especially internationally, it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's politics, it's culture, it's, like you said, real people's lives.
Yeah, totally. It's like that saying, everything's connected,
It is, for sure.
Like the world feels smaller after this talk.
And because of that, there are, like, huge chances to do good, but also, like, really tough problems to figure out.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
So, like, when you hear about Chinese businesses in Jamaica, or anywhere, really, don't just stop at the surface,
Go deeper.
Yeah, ask yourself, what's the bigger picture? What's missing from this story? That's how you really learn something.
I like that. It's like a little challenge for everyone.
Yeah, keep digging.
And on that note, that's all the time we have for today.
Great talking to you.
Yeah, this was awesome. Until next time, everyone.